Welcome to the class 10 students. Today I will be going to start a new chapter of your second unit test syllabus, which is chapter number 3, Heredity and Common Genetic Diseases. So as you can understand from the name of the chapter that this chapter is about heredity and genetics and certain genetic diseases. So before going into the details of the chapter, we are going to learn the meaning of a few terms. Suppose here only two terms are there, heredity and genetics. So I hope you know that in your book, the first line you will find the definition of heredity. The resemblance of offsprings to their parent is termed as heredity. So we get to hear a lot of times that our eyes are like our mother, or our this particular feature is like our father. So this is nothing but heredity, because we have got their genes, and that is why this kind of resemblance with the parents means this type of resemblance are found in the offsprings with their parents. Okay, so look at your book. The first line will be the definition of heredity. The resemblance of offsprings to their parents is termed as heredity, and this resemblance can be in height, eye color, skin color, hair texture, and any physical body part which we can see from the outside. Okay, now go to the next paragraph. That means below the diagram you will find the name of a scientist, Gregor Johann Mendel. Johann will be double N. Okay, it is not there in your book, it is single N in your book, but it will be double N. Gregor Johann Mendel. So who is this scientist? It is, we can also just call him as Mendel or G.J. Mendel, but the full name is Gregor Johann Mendel, and he is termed as the father of genetics. Why? Because he was the first one to do experiments concerning with genes, and he was the first one to find out that genes are transferred from one generation to the next generation, and that is why he is known as the father of genetics. Look into your book. Mendel performed a series of simple experiments and discovered how heredity works. So no one before Mendel did this kind of experiments relating to genes. So that is why he is known as the father of genetics. Okay, now coming to the proper definition of heredity. Heredity is a transmission of characteristics or traits through genes from one generation to the next. So after Mendel gave all these experiments, did all these experiments and gave the inference about all those experiments, how genes are transferred or transmitted from one generation to the next generation, it was found that genes, through the genes, the chromosomes, the DNA, they also transfer from the previous generation to the next generation. Okay, now in the next paragraph you will find the term genetics was coined by Bateson. These things are very important for your objective type questions. The term genetics was coined by Bateson, underline that. And while the term gene was first proposed by Johansen. These two are very confusing and they come in exam quite a lot. So the term genetics was coined by Bateson, and the term gene was coined by or proposed by Johansen. These two names, who proposed these two terms or who gave these two terms, this is very important for you to remember. Okay, now we come to the definition of genetics. Heredity we have already done, that the transmission of characteristics or traits through genes from one generation to next is known as heredity. But then what is genetics? The science of heredity and the principles of governing the inheritance of characters from parent to the next generation is known as genetics. Genetics is basically a branch of biology that deals with all these heredity and the transmission of gene from one generation to the next generation, and how these things occur, how these things are inherited to the next generation. The principles of this inheritance is known as genetics. It is basically a branch of biology. Okay, so here two terms are clear to you all, heredity and genetics, and you know that Gregor Johann Mendel, this spelling you will have to correct in your book. In your book it is only single n is there, so it will be double n. Correct it in your book, and now you know that he is known as the father of genetics and all that. Now let's move on to the next few terms. Next we are going to talk about mutation. So I hope previously I know that you have learned about mutation previously, and I hope you remember what mutation is. It is basically the change that takes place in the genetic constitution of a certain organism, and these changes, see in your book, this change in genetic constitution of an organism is known as mutation. Mutation is the cause of variation among organisms. So mutation leads to variation. Why? Because mutation is a change in the genetic constitution of an organism, and those changes within the genetic constitution will be shown as physical changes, and then the accumulation of many such physical changes will result into the variation among a particular species. Okay, so you also know that mutation is a raw material of evolution. Mutation leads to evolution. So basically variation and evolution are same. By further variation, when this variation takes place over a very long period of time and many such variations they accumulate, they cause evolution. So mutation, it is clear to you, I hope, that it is the change in the genetic constitution of an organism which ultimately leads to variation and basically evolution. Okay, so the next term that after mutation that we are going to talk about is variation. So previously while talking about mutation, I was talking with you about variation, that mutation causes variation. But now what is variation? The permanent change in chromosome or DNA may result in difference in expression of characteristics called variation. So variation is basically, if I have to explain to you in simple language, it is that you and I, suppose we are talking about two people, you and I, we both do not look same with the same as each other, right? Because we have variations in us. Even though we belong to the same species, which is human, we do not look same as each other. We have variations in us. Variation may be in case of height, in case of eye color, in case of skin color, hair color. All these variations may occur, and why have those variations occurred? They have occurred due to mutation and also due to sexual reproduction. Okay, because in case of sexual reproduction, the mixture of two gametes take place and they give rise to a new type of characteristics. So that is why variation takes place within a particular species. Okay, now another type of example of variation that I am going to give you, you look at your book, you will find the examples: free and attached earlobe, and the next one is roller and normal tongue. So this is one example of variation in human being. They are known as free and attached earlobe. This one is the attached earlobe, while this one is the free earlobe. You can see here it is free from the side of the head and only attaches with the head here, but it is attached here with the side of the head. And these are the two variations, means the contrasting pair of characters, and thus they are known as variation in human being. The other type of variation in human being is this one, which is known as the roller tongue and the normal tongue. So here, this type of tongue, if you can roll your tongue this way, it is known as roller tongue. And some people, even if they try to, they cannot roll their tongue. Okay, so you may try it on your own, and you may see that some of you can roll your tongue, and others, even if you try, you know how to do it, you will not be able to roll your tongue. You basically, this is a curling of the tongue, curling of the sides of the tongue. So this is another variation in human being.